The new Golden Party Hat-esque event is here in the Golden Cape event starting on May 30th, and there's some controversy about a new Jagex event. Who would have thought? Definitely not me, so let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on guys? My name's Chevalric and today we're going to be talking about the new Golden Cape event coming to RuneScape next week on May 30th and the controversy surrounding it, because there's actually some issues that people are having with the rewards from this event, not actually the event itself for once, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But if you thought I was some shell for Jagex now because they flew me out, they treated me nicely to play Necromancy early before release and capture footage. By the way, speaking on the topic, subscribe with the bell notifications on because a lot of you guys actually don't have them on, because next week I will have exclusive, yes you heard that right, exclusive Necromancy footage that I captured myself at Jagex HQ, where I will give my honest and raw opinion on the skill, and you definitely don't want to miss it. But yeah, I am here to give my honest opinion on this subject as well, and I'm not a happy Chevy boy, so we're going to be talking about it. If you do enjoy the video, definitely leave a like. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about it. As I said, subscribe if you're new. I'm live every day on Twitch about 5 PM game time, and let's just get into the video. So first things first, I always like to critique and give flowers where it's due, and in this case, I want to give flowers to Jagex, or kudos to Jagex, however you want to put it, on this event. They could have easily said, hey guys, we really know that you like the Golden Party Hat event, we're going to do a Golden Cape, and you can get it through microtransactions, because you guys like golden stuff, right? Shiny, shiny, but no, they said, you know what, that event was a success, we're just going to copy and paste it and do it again. And I think that's, in this case, really good. Personally, I don't really like the cape. I will never wear the cape. I will get the cape, but yeah, it's just I don't like it, right? But I like the idea of these events, and I like that it gives a way for newer players to obtain a rare themselves that is exclusive for 28 days, but also make a little bit of money. Even if they only sell for 150 or 200 mil like the Golden Party Hat does now, that is still a lot of money and a good starter chunk for a lot of accounts. And usually on day of release or the day after, you can sell it for a little bit more. So if you get it quite quickly, then definitely sell it and just buy it back later, or have a lowball offering, because they will go down in price eventually when everyone starts getting them and starts selling them on the Grand Exchange. And if you don't know what these events are, pretty much by playing the game, you get these shards to be able to craft it. You need 8 shards, and you can get them by doing bosses, clue scrolls, doing artisan skills like smithing, or gathering skills like woodcutting, or support skills like slayer, or actual combat skills with combat. And with all these things, you can get the shards to be able to craft the cape. If you want a full explanation, you know where to find Protux video, or just read the news post yourself, and I will show it on screen as well if you want to read it whilst I'm talking. Whatever you choose to do, but pretty much that is the event. But there's one part of the event that's an incentive that has to do with Jagex launcher account and your Jagex account, and I think that incentive is a good incentive, right? It's you being pushed towards the Jagex launcher, which I think is good because you get 2 shards for transferring your account to be a Jagex account. And there's another thing regarding the cape as well. It's the reward from it. And that's kind of where one of the 2 controversies are sparking. And the other one has to do with the Jagex launcher as well. But the main one is that people have an issue with is you get a buff as well for the cape. Which, by the way, personally, I don't really understand why you're getting this buff. Because shouldn't the cape be the reward for doing this challenge and not some extra arbitrary buff? Because you're gonna have a chance of, you know, getting a null hit, so like a 99% reduction hit, kind of how Enhanced Devoted works, but without having Enhanced Devoted and praying the right prayer, if you have to scale for 28 days. And the same thing applies to skilling. You have a porter effect. It's a bit unclear to me if it's permanent or if it's random or how it's exactly going to be working. If it's a permanent porter for free for 28 days, go do your gathering skills, go do some archaeology or something. That's definitely very, very useful. But yeah, I don't really see the issue with those rewards. I just think they make no sense, because as I said, I think the cape should be the reward, it should be the incentive. Do they know it's a bit hideous? I don't know, but in general, I'm not really against it. People are kind of exaggerating, saying it's really overpowered. It's kind of just having like an extra Enhanced Devoted, which I know is strong, but if you use this perk, the cape perk, I want to call it skill cape perk, if you use the cape perk, pretty much you will not get boss times, and it will not count to high scores and whatever. So you still be able to take on a boss, but yeah, it will not be counting to anything that has to do with stats, which I think is good. I just think it's a bit, I don't know, it feels a bit random. But the real issue here is the Jagex launcher link, because sure, you get charged for it. That's not an issue, Chef, right? No, I think that is a great incentive, and it's exactly what an incentive should be. you get this little bit extra during an event, or even if it was like a cosmetic thing, like an exclusive cosmetic outfit that looks super cool, to switch your regular account to the Jagex launcher account. Because if you don't know, eventually we will all be switching to Jagex accounts versus our current username or email address, whatever you're using. I still have a username because my account is 17 years old. But yeah, right now you just typed it in, log in, but they want us to migrate to the Jagex launcher because that will be, and that is by far factually the safest way to have your account on RuneScape. And a lot of other gaming companies do that as well. It's not just a RuneScape thing. Like every MMO pretty much does it, where you have this one overarching account, and then you can add accounts to it pretty much. Like, so if you have an alt, for example, you can add your alt to your Jagex account, and eventually you can easily just switch it. Obviously, you still need to pay membership on each account separately, but pretty much it's the easiest way to get to your account. And there's not an issue with it. And I eventually will migrate to, because, well, it will help me with this event, and two, it will give us another reward, the AFK timer. And it's exactly where my issue lays. The AFK timer, if you don't know what that is, if you stand still in RuneScape for 5 minutes, you don't interact with the game, you get lobbied, right? Well, that's the AFK timer, and it's currently set at 5 minutes. People have been asking to get this extended for a very long time, and especially recently, even more so, since RuneLite, the plugin or the client that people use to play old school RuneScape on, has a plugin that actually allows you to extend your AFK timer to 25 minutes, which is really nice for certain AFK activities, especially in RuneScape 3. Think about Saren Stones, right? That would be amazing to do for 25 minutes. I don't think it will be increased to 25 minutes. I think that will go from 5 to 10 or something. There's not a like actual time set where it will be increased to, but I think it will be 10 minutes. But it will be locked behind Jagex accounts. You need to switch your regular account to Jagex accounts to be able to get this. And you're thinking, Chev, you just literally said it's the safest way to play. What is the issue? Well, people are scared. People are generally scared, and they're getting a little bit forced into this. And I think this is an incentive that goes a little bit too far. And why are people scared? Because there's still horror stories of people, you know, having issues with migrating or things going wrong and whatever. And of course, this is the 0.01% player base, because for the rest of it, it goes smoothly and nicely. So you don't have to worry. If you're watching this, you were concerned about it, don't be. But there's still people that are concerned about it. And that is people that, you know, had their accounts for a long time and are a bit, you know, that might have never had issues with any security things since they created their account, because they had their emails locked and their authenticator on it and like a good password, etc., etc. And they might be a bit, you know, hesitant to switch over to the Jagex accounts thing because they're scared to lose it. I mean, sure, if you lose your account, that sucks, right? Like, that generally does suck because, you know, getting the stats back is not the worst part of it. Of course, that sucks as well, doing all the quests again, but pretty much like the memories and the time you played on it, because we put thousands and thousands of hours in these accounts, and to lose it would be awful. And yet again, I want to reiterate, the chance of you losing your account is literally minuscule, but unfortunately it has happened to some people. For me, it wouldn't matter. I text them, I send them a message, be like, hey, Zana, look, there's a issue with my account. Can you see if someone can sort it? And it will probably get sorted out. But not everyone is a content creator. Not everyone is in direct contact with JMods, right? And I think that is an issue that I have with this in general. It's like this incentive for a quality of life feature that everyone wanted for a long time is a little bit too much. As I said earlier, if it was a cosmetic or how they're doing this with these shards, I think that's amazing. I think that's a really good incentive and like a really nice niche thing for people that care about that kind of stuff, and just be like, hey, look, there's all these rewards if you switch to our launcher or to switch to our account system or whatever you want to call it. That, like, no issue at all with that. But having something pivotal as an AFK timer, right? And I might be absolutely over-exaggerating and overreacting, right? Like, as I said, I am going to be switching over. It's not like I'm not going to, but I'm just trying to understand and show you why I understand the people that are hesitant, right? Because I understand that, you know, you might be scared of those stories you read on Reddit or on Twitter. And of course, they are unfortunately horror stories that might not be true fully, but hey, it's one of those things, right? That, you know, it will affect people and it will make people scared. And I feel like it would be a shame if people switch to this account system by having fear for it than actually feeling safe to do so, right? Like, I feel like the aim should be that people are all like, no, I don't want to have my username login anymore. I want to go to the Jagex account because that is, I trust this and it feels way better and feels way safer, instead of like, oh, well, guess I have to do this because I want this increased AFK time. Like, I think that's a very, very important thing that they need to try to nail. And I think that by having an incentive this good, because obviously I understand that there need to be an incentive, right, to be able to get people to switch over. But I feel like something like this is maybe a little bit too far, because it's a quality of life feature locked behind something they want you to do. And I'm not one of those doom thinkers that think like, oh, what is next? You get extra RNG to do what Jagex does you want you to do. I'm not one of those people, but I do just want to raise that, discussion and talk about it and be like, hey, look, people are concerned about this and people are still worried to switching to the safer method of logging in through a Jagex account, because it's way easier to secure and it's way easier to get right and stuff, and it's better to use as well. It's literally is better, right? But people are scared, and you shouldn't have people switch because they feel like they have to, but you should have people switch because they want to. At least that is my opinion. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Am I over-exaggerating? Do I have a popular or an unpopular opinion? Let me know. Subscribe if you're new as well. As I said, a lot of necromancy content coming next week. And leave a like on the video. It generally really, really helps me out. And my name's Chevalric, and I'll see you guys in my next video.